Hey, Misfortune players! So Dark Harvest had been Misfortune's most popular keystone by far over the course of the last patches, and for good reason. All you needed to do was stack lethality with this keystone, which not only allowed your ultimate to hit like a truck, but also to literally one-shot squishies with your Q in the late game with all those Dark Harvest stacks. It is pretty dumb to be honest, but since junglers started to abuse this rune as well, Riot decided to hit it with a pretty harsh nerf. Dark Harvest lost 20 points of damage flat out, which especially hurts the earlier stages of the game. And it shows! We are only 2 days into the patch and Misfortune's win rate with Dark Harvest has already dropped by more than 2%. So what now? Is Dark Harvest Misfortune dead? Of course not. I would still say it is viable and numbers support this idea as well. You just have to keep in mind that your power early game went down, so you are now less of an early game bully, but rather a hard scaling late game carry. But is Dark Harvest still the best keystone for Misfortune? Well, there are actually two very strong contenders. The first of which everybody went crazy about a few months ago, but today seems to be almost forgotten. I am obviously talking about Conqueror. This rune is still extremely strong on Misfortune if used correctly, and still has an exceptionally high win rate as of today. You don't use lethality with this by the way, but crit items instead. You go for a rather kite-heavy playstyle with a lot of emphasis on your W and your auto attacks. Simply hold onto your ultimate during a fight until you have the perfect setup for your Conqueror proc. I released a guide for this a while ago, but its ideas still apply in 8.20. I will leave a link at the end of the video if you want to have a look. However, the last keystone and build I want to talk about easily might be the strongest and most brutal version of Misfortune we have seen in a long time. The following build is used by a Misfortune one-trick player who managed to reach an almost 70% win rate in EU West Challenger. I haven't seen a Misfortune this successful in solo queue ever before, and a consistent result like this over the course of almost 150 games played really speaks for itself. So how does this player do it? Well, first of all, he picks a very specific rune page. He goes for Arcane Comet, Mana Flow Band, Celerity, Gathering Storm, Biscuit Delivery, and Time Warp Tonic. Yes, Time Warp Tonic on Misfortune. He always starts with Corrupting Potion, which in tandem with Mana Flow Band and Biscuit Delivery pretty much gives him infinite mana and a disgusting amount of sustain. With this setup he basically spams E on cooldown in lane and logically maxes E right away. This allows him to win lane pretty much every time, and even if things go awry, he is still guaranteed to be useful in the mid game with the monstrous 60% AoE slow from Make It Rain. The item build is always Ghostblade into Duskblade with either Ninja Tabi or Boots of Swiftness, depending on what he needs. After finishing this core item build, he then goes for Edge of Night into an additional Serrated Dirk against squishy teams, or Rapid Fire Cannon into Infinity Edge against tanky teams. His last item is always a Guardian Angel. This build is honestly so much fun, and if you want to learn how to play it, feel free to click on the end card to the right. If you want to revisit Conqueror Misfortune, just click on the card to the left. So, which keystone are you going to use from now on? Let me know with a comment and subscribe to my channel for daily Misfortune content.